Dear former Governator, be as brief as possible, but this is not just important, it's impactful. I'm on page 214. Useful. Being useful. We're going to call this hashtag twins 2 when useful met helpful. My name is Deb Helfrich. My payroll name. My chosen soul name for my midlife metamorphosis. From a polar bear to the Trojan giraffe of whiteness is Zenzile Landalozi. You are responsible for what you've become, says these Zulu words. The protector of all living beings. Okay, we've got the cheat sheet. Why is this receipt so long? I bought one item. So many things in this world. On page 214, you're saying why most people are stuck and miserable. They don't know how the world works. I'm a Carnegie Mellon degreed philosopher. And I'm here to ask you to be my Joe Wider. I need an investment. Now, this is the real truth. As a girl child, I really was into bodybuilders. I used to, when Carson was on, my dad is a steel worker. I'm literally Andrew Carnegie's wildest dreams. Went to Carnegie Mellon University, degree in philosophy. Seeing philosophy as a creative endeavor, Socratic dialogue, teaching us how to have conversations again. Philosophical method, that's the scientific method for real humans who can't get into, billion-dollar hadron colliders and have million-dollar electron microscopes and all these kinds of things. Philosophy, thought experiments, this is a very lucrative place to go. But with the time constraints and everything, we got to zhuzh it up. Why not cross philosophy with stand-up? Hashtag stand-up philosophy. And my own version is literally hashtag Socratic improv. I have been doing the hashtag Chappelle challenge for 4.5 years. To get as good as Dave Chappelle, spouting off, being fierce, addressing the ignorance, giving people ideas about why the world should no longer work like this and how we're going to fix it. That's my work. So I'm really asking you to be my Renaissance patron and matron as well. You might be able to intersect with, so we can move humanity forward to fix the earth. Now, how would I do this? Well, a proprietary brand of thinking that I've labeled life-centric thinking. It's opposed to the stuff-centric thinking of money matters most masculinity. We can solve all these problems. But right now we have a thinking. We're plummeting attention spans from these dumb handsets, making everyone zombies. It's all just gotten so crazy. So how do we change? How do we get to all 8 billion humans? This is not just about the problems of privileged democracy as bought and sold by plantation capitalism. You see, we're arguing over names and things. The actual implementations are not these pristine concepts of democracy and capitalism. We have these things with a very evil and inhumane mindset. It's not the Western thought tradition. It's the whiteness thought tradition that we need to see and then not continue being judgmental based on what people look like. Hashtag twins 2. Maybe I'll even get a Danny and Rhea sighting in all this, right? I'm asking you to invest in the entercation, edutainment that's born, entercation empire of hashtag breaking brilliant. Whereas those men made meth, this woman wakes wisdom. I'm the one that shouts. Mama says, knock you out. Don't call it a comeback. I'm Fresh Prince from scratch. Yes, Arnold. Or did I tell you about Minds of Grass? Right over there, that's the Carnegie Library building here in this small coastal California town. December 1st, I opened my very first gig for the current Poet Laureate of California, Lee Herrick. Wrote a long, complex poem, Minds of Grass. I've been homeless in California for 2 years, 3 years total. I was at my alma mater. They left me to die in the parking lot. These institutions, we have it again against this whole thing with the college degree situation. It's all of these. We're just going around judging people, telling people, no, I'm a 55-year-old woman. I'm saying, I want to do this thing. I want to do a documentary, fittest 55-year-old. Now, as a philosopher, mental fitness is what I'm talking about, but Arnold Schwarzenegger. I evaporated 150 pounds in the 15 months after turning 50. When I turned 50, I was 333 pounds. With this homelessness situation, I'm obviously destitute. I bought no protein powders, supplements. I paid no one nothing. I used my brain and evolutionary logic. What is fat? It is perfect human nutrition for every human too old for breast milk. So that means that evolution has also got us a way to let the weight go off. Paying people, buying all kinds of crazy manufactured foods. All this thing, lifting, very rigorous, you track it. Fasting, not so much so. This is the body. There's these complicated things, and you're detoxing and you're rebuilding, and every day is kidney day. I know you know Pete Sisko. We got a lot in common. You wouldn't think it. You need a conversation, right, to know that. All right, any more things? So literally, I think $1 billion, life-centric thinking, all 8 billion people. This is about the fact that this is evolutionary logic. We are all African ancestrally. I'm just ready to talk about everything on a stage. But also need some help meeting some more $20 million guys. I filmed a whole streaming series. This is the pitch. Forget about all these boring spreadsheet pitches. They're making these spreadsheets up. It's all fantasy, and they're like, okay, this is a great spreadsheet. Let's invest. I created an entire streaming pitch series. Did we stop? Why are there so many cars without mufflers in California? What happened? Somehow with this new electric car situation, there's all these loud vehicles. I have an environmental illness. Invested all my money I made as a software consultant in staying alive. I figured it out. Evaporating those 150 pounds, fixing the chemical sensitivity. I'm sensitive to everything. This is actually autism in many, many ways. This is my work as a philosopher of physiology, going against big pharma, the thought experiment. It can't be like this. We're not thinking at all about human functioning with evolutionary logic. This is real work, and quantum physiology is, quite frankly, what I'm talking about. We're talking about intellectual property, Einstein of consciousness. If we have a definition of consciousness that everyone can agree on, and this is where I'm trying to get to Will to fund some more positions and some graduate work at Howard University. And then I'll be in DC, and I swear there's some power I've heard occasionally. In essence, I'm asking you to help me be able to go, you're hired. It couldn't be anything more important right now. So we'll see what else might be on this long list. I think I told you just about everything. I think I saw myself. I don't have a Conan sword. I've only got a grocery outlet way too long receipt. But I think you write me a check for like, $9 grand. The IRS just from the close reading. Be useful. But really, as you well know, my last name is actually helpful. I think there was quite a little Dumb and Dumber. I think useful and helpful. Now we've got some dwarfs to play with Danny DeVito. Hashtag stand-up philosophy is a real thing. Harmony. Holler.